guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my June haul and anti-haul video, and I actually have quite a few things I bought this month. Not a lot of makeup, but a few things. So let's get right into that, and then after I show you everything I purchased this month, I'll talk about the things that tempted me but that I resisted and just kind of talk about how I resisted them. So the first thing I bought this month, I actually placed an order with Sephora, and I'm not gonna lie, this was totally inspired by a promotional email I got where I saw you could get 3 deluxe size samples with a $25 order. I had something that I knew I needed to pick up at some time, but I've been kind of putting off until something like this where, you know, it would be more advantageous to purchase it, and that was the First Aid Beauty Face Cleanser. This is the travel size. I have used up one of these before. I repurchased it and then I accidentally left it in the bathroom of the hotel I was staying at last month for a wedding. So I knew I wanted to repurchase it. I love having this for traveling, and it came in handy because I had to go away unexpectedly last weekend and fly, and it just doesn't take up a lot of space in, you know, your little quart-sized bag that you can have of liquids. So I'm glad I purchased this. It's about, I think it's $5.50. So I knew I wanted this, but you know, obviously that's far from $20 or $25. So I decided to look around and see if there was anything else I needed, and I remembered that I am almost out of dry shampoo. So I saw this on Sephora's website. I didn't know they carried it, but it is the Chlorine Dry Shampoo, the non-aerosol version. If you've been following my channel for a while, you might remember that I have a love-hate relationship with this dry shampoo. I love the Chlorine Dry Shampoo. It's my favorite that I've ever tried, I think, but it's so expensive and I go through the bottle so quickly. But I bought a bottle of the non-aerosol version from Birchbox a couple years ago, maybe a year ago. I don't remember, a year and a half ago, because it was on sale and I decided to try it. And the thing I love about it is that it lasts forever. Like, it takes so long to get through this. I had this in a project pan and it just wouldn't die. So you definitely get your money's worth with the non-aerosol version. I just don't love the dispenser. So what you do is it has this little thing, you turn it and there's a little spout and you squeeze it. As you can see, that's kind of, there you go, a big puff comes out. But what I don't like about it is you don't have a lot of control. As you can see, I was squeezing it and nothing was coming out. Sometimes you squeeze it, a lot comes out. I just feel like it's a little bit finicky to work with, but since it lasts so long compared to any of the spray versions of dry shampoo I've tried, I feel like it's definitely worth it. I can deal with the annoyance of the dispenser just to have the shampoo. So I think this will last me a really long time. I don't remember how long the last one lasted me, but it was probably at least 8 months. So I think this was a good buy. So I did get 3 deluxe size samples with that order. The first thing I decided to get was the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. I hear so many great things about the setting spray. My sister really loves it, but I've never tried it before, so I thought it would be fun to try this and compare it to the drugstore ones that I have tried. Then I got a travel size dry shampoo. I like having a full size and a travel size for if I need to travel. So I got the Mika Perk Up Dry Shampoo. I've had a few of these before from Birchbox. I actually have one right now that's almost gone, so I'm going to use that one up and then have this one waiting for whenever I need to go out of town. And then the last sample I got was from Dr. Jart. It's the UV Sun Fluid SPF 30. I think I got this in my Sephora Playbox last month, or maybe my Birchbox. I don't remember, but I've used it once. I went to a baseball game, I used it for my body and it worked great. I'm always happy to have more SPF in the summer, so I especially like having little travel size bottles so I can throw them in my purse. I babysit a lot, so sometimes we go to the park or something, or I'm outside longer than I expect to be, so I like having some sunscreen in my purse in the summer, so that will be perfect for that. The next thing I thought I'd mention is not something I purchased, but it's something I received in the mail from Ulta. I guess they sent this out to some Platinum members, but it's the Vice lipstick sampler. I know this was available on Sephora as a sample as well, but there's 24 shades of the Vice lipsticks here. I was so excited when this came in the mail. I've heard of people getting stuff in the mail from Ulta before, but I've been platinum for over 2 years and I've never received anything, so it's really exciting. So there's a lot of shades in here, and I thought I'd mention this because the Vice lipsticks have been tempting me the last few months, so now I have some to play with at least and hopefully quell my temptation. Then a few weeks ago I went to Ulta to purchase a birthday gift for my sister, and I saw this out of the corner of my eye, and I had been thinking about getting a black lipstick for a while just to play with, and I had seen this one on in a YouTube video from Amy Lynn Thompson. She did a swatch video of all the new NYX Liquid Suede cream lipsticks, and when I saw that I was kind of like, oh, like put it in the back of my mind, maybe I'll try that one someday. I've just always wanted a black lipstick just to play around with. So I saw it, it was the last one they had, and I decided to pick it up. So this is in the shade Alien. I've worn it for a few hours at home, not out of the house yet, but I like the formula. It's really nice, and it's not super dark black. It's a little bit of a light black, but I do like it. I think it will serve my purpose, scratch that itch of having a crazy black lipstick. I'll probably only wear it out of the house if it's Halloween or something, but I like having some of those crazier makeup items, kind of like my Neon Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette. Just, you know, whenever you want to play around or do something crazy. And NYX was buy one get one 50% off at Ulta, and I was trying to, you know, use my $3.50 off coupon, so I decided to see what else they had going on, and I decided to try one of their mascaras because I'm trying to go cruelty free, and most of my, or pretty much all the drugstore mascaras I've ever tried have not been cruelty free, so I decided to try NYX's. I've never really heard anything about any of their mascaras, and I was kind of surprised that they had so many. There were probably at least 10 different mascaras that they had, so I kind of picked this one randomly. They all had different claims, and this one says it will separate and curl lashes, and it's called Pinup Tease, and I do find that it does that. It makes your lashes not clumpy at all. They're very individual, and I don't know that it curls them, but it holds the curl pretty well. The one thing I don't like about this is that it is pretty crunchy. I feel like it leaves my lashes very hard, and also I've always thought I liked longer, flutterier lashes, but I realized that I do like some volume. That one really doesn't give any volume. It doesn't claim to, so that's fine with me, but I think I would like it maybe better layered with another mascara, so I might try one of their volumizing mascaras and maybe put them together, see what I think about that. But this one on its own is just not my favorite. Alright, so when I was out of town this past weekend, I was with my family, and my sister wanted to go to Sephora because she was out of foundation and she was going on a trip this week and she wasn't going to have time to stop at the store. So I went with her and my dad, and my dad offered to pay for everything she was getting, which was quite a lot. So he offered to buy me anything that I wanted. And I don't really need anything, but there was one thing that had been on my mind the whole weekend, and that was thanks to my sister, and it was this palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the Modern Renaissance palette, and this just has a lot of pink and red and orange eyeshadows, and that's something I really don't have. So this is what it looks like. And what kind of got me thinking about this is I had seen swatches and videos and reviews of this, and I wasn't really, you know, tempted. I thought it was really nice. I heard that it was really good formula. I thought it was pretty, but I wasn't sure that it was something I wanted. But my sister has a Dior quad, or I guess it's a quint, and one of the shades in it is a red, and she loves it. I actually got it for her for Christmas a couple years ago. She picked it out, so she wanted it, and she was wearing it the whole weekend, and it was so pretty. I like couldn't stop staring at her eyes. She said she always gets so many compliments when she wears the red shade, and so it kind of made me think like, oh, maybe a red eyeshadow would be something fun to have, and I don't have any reds. I don't even really have any pinks aside from like some like light mauve-y type pinks. So given the opportunity to have my dad buy this for me, I took it, and I'm really excited. I've looked at this compared to everything. Keep dropping the brush. I look at this compared to all the other eyeshadows I have, and it really is very unique. There are, of course, you know, a couple shades in here that aren't that crazy, like warm taupe, and then these two lighter shimmery shades, and that one, you know, I probably have dupes for those somewhere, and maybe this dark brown, but I had over half of these I think are very, very unique to my collection, so I think it was a pretty good pick. It wasn't something entirely on a whim. I had been thinking about getting it at Ulta with my Platinum. I have a 20% off coupon. After hanging out with my sister all weekend, I was like, oh, maybe I will pick that up and use that coupon. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm not psyched that I bought another eyeshadow palette, but I think that this was like the best eyeshadow palette I could buy. So yes, I did buy another eyeshadow palette, but I don't regret it at all. I do think it's totally unique to my collection, and I'm very happy to have it and play with it. And this is going to be my 1 month 1 palette for July, which I probably already posted about, but yes, this is my new eyeshadow palette and I'm very happy about it. Next thing I bought wasn't for me, it was for my husband. It's the Verb Hydrating Shampoo, and he loves this shampoo. He swears by it. The salon he gets his haircut at recommended it to him, I guess. I guess they use it there. He bought it and he said it's really taking care of all his dry scalp issues. And I also have those issues, so I actually want to try it out. I just want to use the shampoo I have first. But I decided to get him this big giant bottle because he kept buying the smaller bottles and he goes through them fairly quickly. So I picked this up from Sephora for him, and then with the shampoo order, Sephora was having a deal where you could get a mini orgasm blush from NARS, and I couldn't resist doing this. I used to have the full size. I destashed it, I sold it, but when I did that I kind of thought, I know it's pretty easy to get these little mini ones. They're Point Perks or come in kits, or, you know, a deluxe size sample with an order or something. I kind of had it in my head like, I'm gonna get rid of my full size, but if I ever see an opportunity to get the mini one, I'll just do that. These are actually huge. They're almost as big as a full size. A full size I think is like 4.5 or 4.8 grams, and this is 3.5 grams. So this is plenty of orgasm for me. I do have other blushes that are similar. I think the Too Faced, I don't have that one anymore actually. Maybe I don't have any blushes that are similar anymore, but I had a lot of dupes. It's not my favorite blush, but you know, it's like one of those iconic things that I just, for whatever reason, I just like want to have. So I'm glad that I now have it as a free sample instead of the full size. Then the next thing I got was from Influenster. Actually, if you aren't familiar with Influencer, it's a site where if you have any type of social media account, a Facebook, a Twitter, Instagram, anything, you can sign up and you can get products to test for free. So I got this Marc Jacobs highlighter. It's in the shade Spotlight. I think that's the only one it comes in. It's called the Glow Stick, and this is what it looks like. So here is a swatch of it. Used this a few times and I do really like it. I do not recommend applying it straight from this. That's a terrible idea. You will look crazy. So what I do is I use this stipple brush from e.l.f. and I just brush it on here like this, and then I put it on lightly like this. Might as well add some more highlight, and I think it just gives a nice subtle glow. It's not too much unless you go overboard, like applying it like this. So it's nice. It's white with kind of a little bit of a golden sheen, and it's really nice. I'm happy to try it out and I'm happy to have it. Alright, so that's everything I purchased in the month of June. So now I'm just going to talk about some of the things that also tempted me in the month of June. So the first item is the Laura Mercier Smooth Finish Flawless Fluid Foundation. And I had one of those. I used it up in December or January. I'm not quite sure. But I really love that foundation. It's a great color match for me and I just really like the formula. But I heard that it's getting discontinued. So it's not available at my Sephora anymore. I noticed that a few months ago when I went in, I was going to get some samples of other foundations. And I wanted to compare the shades just so I didn't have to deal with getting help from someone that worked there. I was just going to squirt a little bit of the Laura Mercier one on my hand and compare it to other ones, but they didn't have it, so I was kind of like, oh, that's weird, I don't know. They still have it on the website though, so I was like, I'll just order it when I need a new foundation, probably late 2016. But I heard it was a video from Amy Lynn Thompson, who I mentioned earlier. I guess she mentioned in one of her videos she has a friend who is a makeup artist for Laura Mercier and told her that they were discontinuing it and he had a bunch and gave it to her or something like that. I don't know. But I'm really sad if that's true, and I want to pick up another bottle before it goes away so I don't have to deal with finding another foundation. And I know that there's like some controversy on whether Laura Mercier is cruelty free or not. To me, based on what I've seen, I am fine buying from Laura Mercier. They don't sell it in China. They used to have like language on their packaging that said we are cruelty free, and they took it off because they were thinking about selling in China and Brazil, but they never did. So some people don't count it as cruelty free. I'm not that picky. I think it's fine. But you know, if you have a different opinion, that's totally cool, but to me, I'm fine with buying from Laura Mercier. The next thing that was tempting me was the Tarte Cream Blush Palette, and I know that sounds crazy, and that's like how I've talked myself out of it because I'm trying to use up all my cream blushes. I have said I don't want to have so many cream blushes anymore, but that cream blush palette just looks so pretty. So here is a photo of it if you haven't seen it. Oh, I guess that's not it. So here's a photo of it if you haven't seen it. First of all, I think the packaging is really cute. For some reason, those round palettes really tempt me, but I just think I would like this so much more than the one I have. It looks like it's not as crazy bright as the shades in my Balm Cream palette. I think this dark red looks like it may be more of a berry instead of a bright, kind of bright red like the one I have. Just for reference, this is the cream blush I had. This one was a light peach shade, which I really liked. This one was looked brown in the pan, but it was kind of more of a rosy shade. And then this one was a sparkly one that I didn't like. But this just looks, they all look pretty toned down, very more natural. And the middle one I think is like a cream highlight. And I just think it looks perfect. I think I would love all the shades, all of them actually. So that is something that has been tempting me. It is limited edition, so hopefully I can just resist until it goes away. So Tarte came out with 4 new blush shades. They're called the Naughty Nudes, and there's one, I can't remember, I can't tell from their website here which one was the one I want. I think it was Sensual. It says it's a golden nude, but I bought Tarte Exposed a long time ago because I really wanted a blush that was kind of nude, more of a brown tone. So I bought Exposed, and this is what Exposed looks like. But on me, some people it does pull that way. On me, it pulls really rosy. So if you look at this swatch right here, it looks really pink on my skin. So I think that new one, the Sensual shade, I think it is, would actually look like what I wanted Exposed to look like. I love Exposed actually, even though it's not what I wanted, it looks really nice on me, but I still kind of want that brownish blush, and I don't have it. I can see all my blushes right now. I don't have anything like it, so that's something that has been tempting me. I'm not sure if it's limited edition or if it's a permanent shade that they've added, but I would love to have a brownish blush like that, and that looks perfect, and I know that I really like the Tarte formula, so that's been something that's been tempting me as well. The next thing that tempted me in June was the Sephora Safety Kit. I saw a bunch of people freak out when it was posted to the Sephora website. They were all very excited. I've never purchased it before, but I was looking at it and it seemed like a great deal. I think it's $32 and you get 15 different items. They're all deluxe size samples, but you know, that's about $2 an item. Can't complain about that. And there were a few things I have tried before that I really liked in there, and then a bunch of things I've never tried that I thought it would be fun to check out. But then I came in, I looked in my closet where I kind of keep all my stuff, and I have so much sunscreen that I really don't need any. I have, you know, I have 2 of these little ones from Dr. Jart. I have a full-size regular suntan lotion like bottle that expires in 2017, and then I have one of the spray ones, and I have a face stick as well. And I just know that unless I start hanging outside every day for the rest of the summer, I'm not going to use up all that sunscreen before it expires. So I really don't need any more SPF products full size right now. I just need to use up what I have. So maybe, you know, I know that comes out every year. Maybe someday I'll purchase it to try out some new things, but this just wasn't the smartest year to buy it. So I have resisted, and that's kind of how I talk myself out of it, thinking that I have this giant, you know, bottle of sunscreen in my closet. I have a whole spray sunscreen and all this other sunscreen that I probably won't be able to use up before it expires. And then the last thing that was tempting me is something I kind of mentioned already, but it's the Urban Decay Vice Lipsticks. I just think the packaging for them looks so pretty. There are so many beautiful shades, and there's one shade in particular that I looked at that I was drawn to, and it's the shade Mosh Pit. I actually swatched it yesterday in store. There was a day before they were all released where there was a certain number of shades were available at Ulta for Platinum members, so that's where I kind of discovered the Mosh Pit shade. I almost purchased it, but I was like, hey, you know, these are permanent items. They just came out. They're not going anywhere. There's really no rush. So I waited. I was actually at Sephora yesterday, and I swatched it in person, and the reason I was drawn to it is because I bought this, or I didn't buy it. I got the Bite Beauty Cure Royale Point Perk last year, and I think I talked about this in some video around that time, but I fell in love with this color, but it didn't look like what I wanted it to on me. On me it pulls more pink, but in all the promotional photos it looked more purple. So I was a little bit disappointed initially when I got this, but I grew to fall in love with the shade that it is. But the Mosh Pit shade looks like what I wanted this one to look like. So I did swatch it yesterday. It definitely is more purple than this, but it's probably similar enough that, you know, only I would be able to tell the difference maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't have this on hand to compare them in person. But, you know, I have so many bright colorful lipsticks that I really barely ever wear. So I really don't need it. I still want one of the Urban Decay Vice lipsticks, and maybe that's not the one I will end up purchasing, but that's the one that tempted me this month. So that is everything for this month's haul in anti-haul. Let me know what has been tempting you this month, and I will try to talk you out of it if I can. And yeah, I will be back next month to show you any beauty related items I've purchased and talk about what has been tempting me in July. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!